Howdy folks, Effing Controller here, back with more Uncharted Waters New Horizons. We're playing as Ali, we're making a lot of money. And we're going to put that money to use. We're going to start investing in ports to get access to some different ships. We've already done some investing, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember us doing that. Is that right? Who? Oh, I see. We don't really need to load these up. We'll just kind of auto-load some of these. I guess the advantage to just loading everything up is that I don't have to worry about, don't have to deal with menuing so much. Maybe I'll spare you guys a lot of this going forward, but maybe I'll start to refrain from that a bit, but having you guys deal with the menuing, which becomes a little bit more tedious now that we have multiple ships, but in any case, we're investing, and there's only a few ports that I'm really interested in. Matter of fact, there are 6 that I'm seriously interested in. Well, maybe 8. Yeah, I think 8. So there are some special ships in this game that you don't normally have access to unless you invest. And one of the ports that builds those special ships is here in Hamburg, and I have invested here. We're going to take a look at what the industry level is. It's 786. That is not high enough. We'll get it higher. This is all a little bit of a process, but we can do this while we trade and faff about, as they say. As they say. Alright, so we're investing here. We're also going to be investing in Antwerp. And there, where else? Trying to remember. I know that Bristol is the other one. Dublin might be one. We'll try investing in Dublin. We have a pretty reliable way of making money at this point, so I'm not really concerned about accidentally throwing too much money at a port. We can make the money back pretty easily. And you know what? I love the Irish. I'm willing to invest in them. Where are we at here? 836. Of course it's closed because it is 2 in the morning. There we go. Okay, so that's 2 down. Going to go to invest in Bristol. I don't remember if... Well, let's actually go to Bristol and we can chat a little bit more there. Trying to remember all of the ports that I want to hit up. But as I was explaining, there are some better ships that we can get through investing. It's kind of an open debate about which ships you should use for, you know, maximizing your ability to make a bunch of money trading. What's the most efficient? It really depends on what you're going to be doing. If you're doing this Madeira Lubeck thing, personally, I think that you're better off. I don't know. I think you're probably better off buying frigates. Or the other option is Takausens. I don't like Takausens just because it's hard to build up a fleet of them quickly. Whereas it's a little bit easier because if I'm doing the well, okay, let's invest first of all. If I'm doing the route that I'm doing, it pays to be able to just kind of jump off to the side of the route real quick, get the ship, and then continue with the route. Whereas if I'm doing, if I'm getting Takausens, which are only available in Japan, I have to, if I'm doing Madeira and Lubeck, it doesn't make much sense. Now, with that said, there are routes that involve Japan that I can make very lucrative, but they're very long distance. So, they're essentially the same route where I'm selling silver in East Africa in this case, buying gold there and selling it in Japan. But it's, to me, less lucrative. It does grant me access to Takausens, which are arguably the best ship in the game. And I think that we should invest over there just so that we can get a couple, but I don't know. I don't know if I really plan on building a fleet of Takausens. If you're here for that, well, I don't mean to disappoint you, but we'll at least get over there and try to make that route work. So we're going to take a little bit of a trip. I'm good here, but I wanted to talk to the flavor text lady. Where is she? Oh, that was probably her over here. Yeah, the shipbuilding technology here is superb, but the shipyard facilities are poor. And what that means is that I need to invest. And she's right. We can build some pretty good ships here. Now, the ship that I tend to end up using, even though I said frigates are probably ideal for this, I end up using full rigged ships quite a bit because they have the most cargo capacity, and they're pretty beastly. But I think though the problem with them is that they're a bit slow. Frigates are considerably faster. Takausens are definitely faster. They're like a bigger La Real. They're not as fast for sure, but they're definitely faster than a full rigged. And that's why I think people like using them. Your other options are barges. I guess that's really your only other option is the barge. And barges are like a watered down full rig ship. They do carry quite a bit of cargo, but really they're not really worth it. Somebody has already invested here. I'll top that off to 50,000. Or, yeah, 50,000. I can count, I promise. The other port I'm going to be investing in, I'm going to be investing in 2 other ports. And I don't remember for sure if it's actually necessary to invest in these ports. And I'm just thinking things through a little bit more. I have a bit of silver on my ship. Ships, I should say. I wonder if I should just go to East Africa and try to buy some gold, take it up to Japan, try to invest a bit there, and get some ships going there. That might be a smart move. Let's invest here in Nantes. So Nantes is worth investing in. I think that it will build a frigate. I'm not entirely sure about that, but again, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. Plus, it gives us the advantage of adding more trade fame to our repertoire, so that's fine too. And I will be stopping in Bordeaux as well. Again, not totally sure that Bordeaux makes frigates, but I want to just... I might as well. No harm in it, really. And there we go. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to fully resupply because... First of all, I can afford it, but second of all, if I'm going to be going all the way to East Africa and Japan, there's no sense in fussing too much with the supply amounts. You know what I might do is I might off-screen the trip over to East Africa. Just because you guys have seen it before at this point, and it's not going to be much different. I'm going to do that thing where I sail off to the side, kind of sail over the edge of the world, and then cut back once I'm out of the area where I'm at risk of running into a storm. So I will see you guys probably in Sofala is probably where I'm headed. Okay, we're in the port of Mombasa as opposed to the port of Sofala. I always forget that Sofala is further to the south. And Mombasa is Portuguese, so I'm going to be investing here not for the purposes of really changing the market, because I think it will already sell gold. Let's double check that. But that was it right there. We have a tax here. Okay, so I can buy gold here. And hopefully that'll at least make it neutral. Really, having it neutral would be ideal, because I'm not going to be able to go back to get my tax permit anytime soon, but that's okay. Like I said, this is still pretty profitable, even with the taxes that you have to pay for buying. The tax is really going to impact us more on the other end of things, but... Or is it? No, it's not going to. It sucks to have to pay money for gold here, but... oh well, I guess. We're going to start by manipulating the price here. We're not particularly interested in anything here other than the gold. We're not going to be investing for any other purpose. We already have access to it. I think that the floor for the price of gold here is going to be 90 again, so we'll keep selling till we get to that, or at least to the point that it does not go down any further. But the reason we're over here is because I want to go to Japan. So naturally I'm in East Africa. Oh, it can go even lower. That's what I kind of thought. Because that means I can decrease... Okay, and it's at the bottom now, so let's just sell. I'm glad that I did actually accidentally buy a full shipload of silver. Because now gold... Oh my god. That's incredibly cheap. Wow, okay. And we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna make you guys watch this again. I'm sorry, but... Like I said, you have to watch the ways that I make sacrifices for you guys. It's really noble of me. I'm gonna sell off the rest. And it is, I guess, at this point, we now know that 100 is all that we really need to worry about. That's another reason why I like the Madeira Lubeck route, because if I want to get a tax-free permit, I don't have to go all the way around the world to get it. I can just go into the Mediterranean, and in this case go to Istanbul. If I was playing some other captain, like probably the best for this would be Joao, or maybe who else would be good? Ernst would be good. Same with Otto. They're all on the way. 410 lots of gold. I guess it's a question as to whether or not this is cheating. I don't think so. It is certainly cheesy. It's not natural. But it is just the systems of the game at work. This is just how the game works. I'm not manipulating anything beyond that. I'm not that guilty of a person to feel like I should feel bad for making the game give me more fake money than it should. And you know, we spent a good amount of time doing the other route that is, I think, a little bit more sincerely devoted to the kind of philosophy, or whatever you want to call it. The idea of waters being uncharted, charting the waters, seeking out new horizons. Almost done. The trick is going to be taking this to Japan. I don't think that the route is going to be super easy. Because if you sail across the Indian Ocean, you're liable to run into storms. When we were in Lubeck, you'll remember that it had that message that came up that said, sorry, we're not able to sell any silver right now. it should honestly do it at this point too. When you crater the price, it should say, oh, we don't have any gold available. But I guess from that standpoint, if you weren't able to buy, well, no, I was gonna say if you weren't able to buy gold, you wouldn't have any way of increasing the price. But the price does, every month, the game will kind of moderate these fluctuations. It'll increase the market rate if it's too low, decrease it if it's too high. It'll just automatically do that. So it should, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad feature from the standpoint of preventing exploits like this, I guess. Not really an exploit if it's just how the game works, but preventing this kind of behavior, I guess. Because I don't think it's probably desirable from a developer standpoint, but I'm the player. I make the rules. This is my game now. Suleiman is looking for us just because we've invested. And I will absolutely be saving the game here just because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to my next destination in Japan. So hopefully we can make quick time. Let's think about our route here. We want to go to Pasai, I think, which is that port that's on the northwest coast of, what is that, Sumatra? But we need to have better wind. You know what? This might be the time to swap out captains, because if we have to deal with Roberto slowing us down, I will just scream. Yeah, he's still at 8. That's just not gonna cut it. It's not really what I wanted. And we get 11 when we have Antoine in command, so I think that decision has been made. We're at the point where I can't afford to keep coddling him. And we just had a slight increase in speed there. We're sailing kind of into the wind. I don't know. It might just be because we have that sloop still. The sloop should be pretty fast, though. I don't know. 15 is a very respectable speed, even in the modern era, so it's too common. Okay, so this happens in the equatorial doldrums here. So, but the advantage is that we have oars, but we're still only making 1 knot. Now, I seem to recall, when this has happened to me before, that I make better speed than this. So lesson learned, don't go this way. We're gonna actually try to get up to India here. Because we're gonna starve if we don't start making some progress here. Oh, shit. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This can go away, but in my experience, when the wind dies, it dies for a while. So we might be in pretty serious trouble here. I've had this happen before where it's usually when I'm playing as an adventuring captain, like Pietro or Ernst, and we're somehow able to just carry on. We move much faster than 1 knot. We have about 4 days worth of food left. Zero, God, that's not good. Please give me some wind. Out of food. Starting to lose crew. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's horrible. Watch it just completely kill the wind again. Okay, let's fucking boogie. Let's go. Okay, where are we going? What's the closest port? Whatever, I think that's Cochin there. We're gonna lose more crew. But we need to get to a port. Son of a bitch. We're gonna get lots of levels for that. But at what cost? So, we're not doing that ever again. I think that that would be a situation... We're gonna get tons of levels, but probably not worth it. We're not gonna ever do that again. It might be better to do if you have figureheads. I think that that prevents that from happening. We need to get more crew. Oh, jeez. Oh, the Portuguese don't like me now because I've invested in their... I've invested in their ports. Boy, that would be just the topper if I got robbed here. What can happen if you're in a hostile port is they will... Good, okay. They'll accost you. Somebody will try to mug you, and you can get away, but sometimes if you don't, I think they take half your gold, which in our case would be a lot of gold. So, yikes. We're gonna resupply. I should have done that first, I guess. That was brutal. That was some bad trouble we got ourselves into. Cafe, that's right. I hate in non-European ports they change the what am I looking for? The layout of the cafes and stuff. Look at this guy. Rub his head for good luck. So I'm gonna have to hire all 26 because I probably need a lot of crew. Let's fix Gary up here. And what I'll do, as opposed to staying here, I'm gonna go to the next port, go to Ceylon. Or I could go to Goa. Let's go to Goa. It's a little bit safer. Or Calicut, that's what I meant. It's neutral, that's good. The amount of sailors that you can recruit is based on the port's economy level. And I'm probably not going to get too many sailors out of this port. Oh, I've already the game is smart enough to know that I've already... I thought that if I went to a different port that it would... I would fool it, but I'm... apparently not that smart. Hey, you know, now that we're here, there's an interesting item that we can purchase. We haven't done this much yet, but in most ports that have an item shop, you can go to them at 2 in the morning and get interesting items. And I think Calicut is one of those ports that has a particularly interesting item. Indeed. Siva's magic sword. It's a curved sword. It's a legendary sword that's believed to confine the power of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. A powerful lashing weapon. I will buy that. It's extremely expensive. It's okay. Let's go back to the cafe. So the problem now is, first of all, we're gonna have a... It's kind of grumpy looking. The problem is that once my crew health goes down, it takes... Oh, wow. I can hire all of the guys. That sounded weird saying that way, but don't worry about it. What was I talking about? I was talking about hiring all the guys. Playing with the boys. But since the crew health rating, even though I'm recruiting a bunch of new crew, it's not going to go up until I start hitting the C here. So we'll see if we start losing crew as soon as we set sail. I feel like that's happened to me before, and I don't know if that's just like a one-day thing where that happens or what, but we'll suss that out here in a little bit. Meanwhile, for the time being, we have a fully recrewed fleet. Another advantage to the investments that I made is that... Let's resupply. Another advantage, though, is that in those ports where I made those investments, I can not just purchase good ships, I can purchase good accessory items like figureheads, cannons possibly. Not that I'm going to be using cannons too much, but... So as you can see, we're not losing crew. The second icon from the top, the two buddies there, that's the icon that shows, and it says 100% below it. That's showing how many crew I have on my ship, or ships rather. My fleet is 100% crewed, so that's good. And the flex icon is showing 38% now. That's gradually increasing. So it did actually increase when I recruited crew. I didn't know that. So now we're gonna head to Nagasaki, and once we arrive, I think I will call it an episode. How did I miss that port before? Oh well. Oh god, I thought that was a storm. Honestly, having the wind die is much worse than storms. It is a slow, grinding death. You will probably end up dying. It was pure luck. I was fully expecting to die there. You can get storms in here. That was a little bit reckless. I'm gonna actually go this way. Then we're gonna sneak over to Korea here. Well, we didn't sneak over to Korea. Damn it. This is kind of dicey. I'm gonna actually wait here. I could have sailed to the port there, but I think we would have taken some damage. Not that we couldn't afford to take it, but I'm a little bit fragile right now, guys. It was a little bit scary. Okay? There we go. This game hates me right now. We're gonna stop in Nagasaki. And if I can buy figureheads here, I will. But we're gonna figure that out in the next episode. I'll see you guys then.